my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Amy and I'm a cruelty-free content creator. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing well. I'm okay, all things considered. I know I haven't uploaded in a very long time. It may not seem as long, but it has been since the beginning of the year. I did pre-film some content and then I posted it up in early January, but the last time I filmed was probably in December, and there's a bunch of reasons why. I'll get into it, but I just want to preface this video with saying that I'm not complaining in any way, just letting you know kind of what's going on and kind of the struggles I've been having, my family's been having, and I don't want anyone to ever leave my videos thinking like negative or sad or down. So this is definitely positive. I like to think of myself as a glass half full person. So that being said, in this video at the end, I will have a giveaway announcement. So I'm super excited to finally share this giveaway with you. I wanted to do it at the beginning of the year. It was like a New Year's giveaway, and then it never happened. And then I'm like, well, it's Valentine's Day, the day that I'm filming this. Maybe I could do a Valentine's, but it's too late. My birthday's in 2 days on the 16th of February. Maybe I could call it my birthday giveaway. Whatever it is, it's a just because giveaway, thanking you all. So I will have all the details at the end of this video before I sign off. This is a get ready with me video, so I just primed my face. I do have some new products from Marc Jacobs. This is from their Café line. This is their spring collection, which is super cute. I have tried these products once before, and I at first wasn't overly crazy about it, so I'm very interested to show you this and like see if it's a little bit different this time around. So I just primed my face. I think I'm gonna start off with my eyes though. So let's just get into this. I will link all the products that I use down below because I will be kind of chatting a lot during this video. So it's been a year, hasn't it? I think everyone can say it has been quite a year, and you know, I don't want to seem like I'm complaining because I know some people have had it so much worse. And I don't want to seem like, you know, I'm not thankful for what I have. But it's been stressful. The past couple of months have been quite a doozy. My father had to have a triple bypass with an aortic valve replacement back in early December. We had known that it was happening. I found out actually back in the early fall. My dad had been complaining about not being able to breathe very well, and he had been struggling. So it was something that we had kind of prepared for. And then when it kind of came up quite quickly in December, it was just really difficult. Due to COVID and everything going on, we weren't able to go to the hospital or visit him during any part of this process. So when he went in, he was dropped off, and then I didn't see him for about 2 months. In fact, I finally just saw him last week for the first time, and it's just been a real struggle. So he had been having a lot of problems with breathing, and then it turned out that there was a bunch of blockages in his arteries. So that's kind of in a nutshell what had happened. So that was really, really stressful and scary. And I remember before he went into the hospital, you know, I went to go visit him, and I was just telling him how much I loved him and everything. And I just remember thinking to myself, please don't let this be the last time I see him and talk to him. I'm like, please let this surgery just go well. So thankfully the surgery actually went really well. It's a very routine surgery by this point. They had been excellent at the hospital. They called my mom, provided her with updates. And then when I went to go visit my mom several days after the surgery, we got a call from the hospital, and they had said that my father's heart rate had been too high. And he also had fluid buildup. There was a lot of blood in the fluid buildup that had been happening. So they were concerned that may go down to his kidneys and cause an infection. So they had to do 2 procedures after the initial one to remove all the buildup, and then they had to shock him a couple times just to get the heart rate back down, and that was quite scary. I think that was more frightening than the actual heart surgery itself, just because we were really concerned. But he made it through. I was able to call him while he was in the hospital, and he sounded so good because now he's getting the oxygen to all the places in his body that he wasn't getting before. So of course this is a major surgery. It's going to take months and months to heal, but he's already doing so much better. I finally got to see him about a week ago for the first time, and he's back home now and everything, and he's up and moving around because before he did have to walk with a walker. But I'm just really proud of him. I think he looks and sounds great. He's lost a ton of weight, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, so that's, you know, that's that, but it was just very, very stressful. I finally got my hands on a couple of these BH palettes, and this one is cherry on top. I thought, oh, pretty reds. Let's go into it. I'm so excited about playing with these. I also got a really good burgundy palette that I always love. This is one that I've kind of constantly used since this fall. This is the Whatever palette from Colourpop. Such a good one. So I think I'm going to use both of these for this look today. You know, when he first came home, it was super stressful because my mother walks with a walker, and so I have both parents now that are handicapped. All that's kind of going on. My mother cannot lift my father, so it was a struggle. Luckily, he had a visiting nurse come by, but we've been... It's the first week that he was home, he fell down because he tried to get up too quickly, so my mom had to call the ambulance, and that was all going on. That was really hard that my dad had to be alone throughout the holidays, alone on Christmas. It was just very sad. We couldn't even visit him through glass, through a window, nothing. That was really, really difficult on our family, and I felt really bad because my dad felt like he was kind of a, you know, a prisoner in a way. And of course it's all for the right reasons. We have to protect everybody with COVID, but it was just really, really difficult. So that was just a struggle. And I had found myself just getting very angry at people who aren't social distancing, that have kind of extended this thing further out than it had to be. This is actually coming off a little bit more pink than I thought it would. So even before my father went in for his surgery, I had received news that I wasn't very excited about. I had made a video back in November talking about how even though I'm not in the most best place professionally in my life, I just feel fulfilled in the job that I have. It's a very nice job. I feel very secure. I've been there for almost 8 years, and unfortunately, around the week of Thanksgiving, actually, my boss had announced that he was retiring, and that's when we found out, and I can't really say too much just for legal purposes, that the company that I work for would be sold. So my job security kind of all went out the window when that happened. And it was quite frightening because I've depended on this job for almost 8 years. I've worked tirelessly, working till midnight, coming up with ideas that the company has implemented, trained more than half the staff there. I've met with clients on weekends and all these kind of things. And I just had this moment of, what is it all for? Like, I could lose everything, you know, depending on who takes over the company and what goes on. And so it's just been very, very stressful and frightening. And my husband and I met at work. We still both work at the same place. So not only does it affect me, it affects my husband. So should something happen, it wouldn't just be me out of a job, it would be both of us. And that's not always the case with most, you know, couples. There would at least be someone who's employed. So that was very frightening. And it immediately kind of just kick-started fears of when my father lost his job when I was in high school. And that just kind of made everything just go downhill. You know, I went through the remainder of high school and college. We had to sell our house. We had to sell a lot of the things that we owned to kind of just get by. And we struggled with money for a very, very long time. And my husband has kind of a similar situation with what happened to his dad because, you know, we were in college when the bubble in the market crashed. So it was just a really hard time. I know, though, I should be thankful that I even have a job right now because so many people don't have that luxury and with everything. So I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, but it's just really frightening. You know, we're not really sure what the future is going to bring, but I've gotten better. I feel a lot better. I'm much more at peace with it. I kind of have this whatever will be type thing. And, you know, if I do lose my job, then I guess for the next 3 months or so, I'm just going to read all the books I want, work out a lot, try to eat healthy. You know, I was trying to take a positive spin, you know, focus a lot more on this channel and everything. So you never know. And it may turn out to be nothing. It may turn out to be fine. We might be okay coming out of this no matter what. And I think we will be okay no matter what happens, but just that kind of initial frightening thing and just trying to prepare just in case something should happen. So that after that happened, several of our friends, mostly on my husband's side, we got together on a socially distancing outside gathering. It was a very few amount of us. We were all separated wearing masks at this outdoor winery, and we were all going around and talking about how things were going and what was going on, and everyone was sharing and stuff. And then they got to us and they're like, how's everything going? And so, you know, I shared because that previous week we had received all that news about work. And so I just shared like how I was feeling and my fears about it. And no joke, a bunch of people got up and just walked away. And it was probably one of the most hurtful things that I have had friends ever do to me before. It was so strange. I thought, I'm like, am I being unreasonable with my fears? I don't think I was complaining too much, but I think I was sharing my thoughts and feelings about it. But then I'm like, maybe I'm complaining too much. Maybe I shouldn't have shared what was going on. And it was just so strange because most of the people who were there, they got up and they were walking around doing stuff, talking, and then the other people who were kind of semi-listening kind of piped in every now and then, and they're like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. And it just made me feel really, really bad to be dismissed like that, and again, to feel like I was just kind of going crazy. It was just so, so strange and really hurtful. There were two of our friends who were listening, and they said, you know, we think you're going to be fine because we work in finance and some of our other friends work in finance. So they were trying to explain like what they thought was going to happen. You know, so I mentioned it to my husband when we were in the car on the way home afterwards. I said, did you notice that they did that? Like, is it just me? And he goes, oh no, yeah, you know, sometimes they actually do that. Like, they do that to me too sometimes. And I did notice that they did that, and I just kind of brush it off. And part of me was like, why is that okay? Like, why is that okay for us, but they don't do it to other people, you know? So I don't know. It just kind of, I don't feel like I was being, you know, unreasonable with what I was saying. So part of me just had this whole shift with some of these friends that we have. You know, I didn't even say anything about my dad while we were there, and I just feel like I probably won't be sharing a lot of stuff with them, mostly going forward, because I don't want to be treated like that. So it was unfortunate. It kind of broke my heart, but right now I'm just kind of like over it, you know? If anything, this quarantine has just made me feel like, why do I always just try to please people constantly? By the way, I just put on the new Marc Jacobs Extra Shot. This is their new foundation and concealer. This is the Caffeine one. So I did try this the other day, and initially I had some problems with applying it. I do think the shade match isn't bad. I probably could have gone up just one more shade. Normally I do light neutral, but this one I did the light warm neutral, which is the one step before the normal light neutral. I was just too concerned it might be a little too dark. This isn't too bad. I think it's just leaning a little yellow. I tend to go for that neutral, like I said. So, but let's try this again, because when I applied it last time, I tried applying it with a brush, and I wasn't too keen on how that looked. So we're just gonna try with a sponge. And I bought a brand new beauty blender, like one of the black ones. I have no idea where it went. And I couldn't find it. I searched maybe for about 15 minutes before starting filming this video. I'm like, where the heck is this thing? Let's just apply a little bit more underneath the eye like a concealer. So let's just see how that goes. It does have a satin finish, I think. It doesn't look overly matte or anything. It doesn't have a smell either. I was wondering if there would be like a little bit of a caffeine smell, but it's really not that bad. I do think that my skin looks nice. This will be the test underneath the eyes too, because last time when I applied this, I did not apply it like a concealer underneath the eye. I did buy the 100% Pure. This is the Bamboo Blur Powder. I've been wanting to try this for so long. I've heard just such wonderful things about this. It's supposed to be a great mattifying powder. So then to top this all off, Chris and I got pneumonia at the end of December. We don't know how it happened, but we both got incredibly sick, and it lasted for about a month. And we just felt so fatigued and so achy, and just my body, everything just hurt. And I was coughing and just feeling so sick. And I'm like, really? Because this is what happened last year. Last year I got influenza A back in January of 2020. And it just, man, I was sick until March. And then for the rest of the year, I wasn't sick. So like last year, I was barely sick. I was really good health-wise, I think because I was staying away from people too, but I could not believe how sick we got. And so just that general fatigue and everything, it just made me feel like no desire to work on stuff, because I have to say that even through quarantine, I felt very determined to work on things like this channel and content, and I've had so much fun. It's brought me a lot of joy, but I just didn't feel like making anything. Recently, with everything that's been going on, I've had all these ideas. I wrote down all these ideas, but I just can't seem to execute them because I'm exhausted. And I just feel like no desire to do anything. This was such a struggle to get up and even film this. So we're here, we're gonna try though. I do have the new Marc Jacobs. So this is their Omega 3 Powder Blush Bronze Highlight Palette. And it looks like coffee swirled around, which is so gorgeous. Initially, I was worried that the pan sizes would be too small, but if you can tell, they're actually quite big. So I can fit my brushes in here. I did try this the other day. I would have loved the highlighter to not be as gold. I think pinkish would have been fun, but whatever, we'll just go with it. So I'm gonna go in and apply the bronzer, blush, and highlight. And if you guys have been following me since last year, I had all these goals in 2020 that I wanted to achieve. And then of course, COVID happened and the world changed, and it just seems so funny. I originally wanted to go on a no-buy year because I was gonna save all my money and go travel and all this stuff, and none of that happened. Oh, bless you. That was my husband sneezing. So none of that happened, and I ended up taking that money that I was going to spend traveling and just putting it into this channel and buying products to review and everything. So that happened. I mean, I have no idea what to expect even for this year, so I'm going into it positive though. I did start writing on Fiverr. So Fiverr, you can do gigs for people. You can pretty much provide any type of service. And I was always a decent writer. In college, I wrote for my school newspaper, and I did a lot of creative writing when I was much younger. So I started offering creative writing services on Fiverr. So on the side, I'm doing that as a little bit of a side hustle. I've gotten several gigs so far. So that's kind of helped my creativity during this time that I haven't been creating content here on YouTube. And it's also been kind of fun because I've been reading a lot as well. I got back into reading all these new books. I read 4 books in January. I'm on my second one for this month in February because I wound up on Book Talk, and everyone on Book TikTok is like, you have to read this book. This one's so good. So I totally got sucked in and bought a bunch of new books, and I've been really enjoying reading them. So while it's been not the best health-wise and kind of feeling down and everything, I still have found some things that have brought me joy. Because it is definitely impossible to be happy all the time. So I think just sometimes by remaining and continuing on is just the best we can do sometimes. When I applied that bronzer, I feel like it didn't do that much. This blush is very pretty though. It's building up quite nicely. It is a bit more on the peachier side, but that's okay. So last thing, last bit of news that, of course, I hate to share this, but because it's like, geez, Amy, anything else? My brother and his children all have COVID. So I knew there was someone who I went to college with who passed away from COVID. And he was in Greek life with me. And his story actually became kind of like nationally known because after he passed, a note that he had typed up on his phone was found, and it kind of like made national news, and his wife did an interview with Anderson Cooper, and it's just kind of crazy how close to home it was because he's around my age. We're in our early 30s, and his you know, now he has a widow and 2 small children. It's just, so COVID, like I mean, COVID hadn't really affected me close to home. He was more of an acquaintance in college, but now that my brother and my 2 nephews and my niece have it, it's now close to home, and it's really, really heartbreaking. It's just scary. They're doing okay. Thankfully, none of them have gotten really sick or anything, but it's just frightening. And this world that we're living in, part of me just like wants to become a hermit and never leave my house. And I don't know. I feel like we're almost being gaslit a little bit. Like, almost they're going to be like, oh, well, it's not that bad. It's fine. We got by. But, you know, 500,000 people have died from this thing. And I just feel sad. I want to do a red lip. Is that too red? Maybe I have, nope, this might work. This is Bachelorette from KVD. This one is one of like my favorite pinky red lipsticks. I think I'm going to do this one. I love that lipstick color so much. Okay, let's do a spritz. This is from Klarity Cosmetics. This is such an awesome brand. They have great eyeshadow, and this is their Skin Glow, like in French, G-L-A-O-U-X setting spray. And it has this bit of shimmer in it, so I've never tried this. So let's give it a go. Oh, nice spritz on that. Let's just put some mascara on the bottom lashes, and we'll kind of finish up chatting, and then we'll talk about the giveaway. So again, I know a lot of this was kind of a little bit more on a downer, but I really want to stay positive, and I just want to let you know I'm doing fine. No matter what happens, I will be fine, and I just hope you are all doing well, and we're all going through it. Oh my gosh, so that spray has like shimmer in it. There's shimmer all over my face. That was unexpected. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, it's in my hair too. This mascara, okay, moving on. This mascara, this is the CoverGirl Lash Blast Clean Mascara. This isn't that bad. When I first tried it, I wasn't that crazy about it, but the more I've played with it, the more I've actually liked it. But I do still have a bunch of plans for 2020. I'm thinking of maybe changing things a little bit. I may try to do some vlog styles, those kind of videos. So we'll see. We'll see where it brings us. All right, let me just finish up this look. I think I'm going to do something with my hair, and I will be right back. Alrighty, my love, so that is it for this video. I really enjoyed the way that this look came out. I think it's super fun and Valentine's appropriate. And before I sign off, I did want to talk about the giveaway. So here are all the details. I'll make sure to list everything down below too. But here's what you have to do. So if you subscribe to me here on YouTube, if you haven't already, like this video and the 2 previous videos before it, and leave comments on all 3 videos. Follow me on Instagram, like the corresponding photo that announces this giveaway, and then the 2 previous photos before that on my Instagram feed, and leave comments on all 3 pictures. So I will put all the details below. If you have any questions, let me know. I will announce the winner on the last day of this month, and I will notify them through Instagram DM. So make sure that your Instagram is open and I'm able to private message you. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have stuck around and been subscribed to me, I so greatly appreciate it. I wish you all a wonderful day, a wonderful year. It's going to be good. We're all going to get through this together. And until next time, remember to stay compassionate and chic. Bye.